Hello! This video is about primitive beliefs. Beliefs and myths has been an important part of human culture throughout its development. Here I want to emphasize the fact that primitive culture is syncretic, interdependent. In the modern world, an artist paints pictures. This is pure creativity. But in the ideas of a person of traditional culture, the world is not divided into spheres. It is a single, whole. And the drawing has practical application. For example, to practice marksmanship or perform a mystical ritual that will make the hunt successful. There are several early forms of beliefs. First, Animism, from the Latin anima, spirit, soul. This is the belief that people and other natural objects have a soul. According to the English ethnographer Tyler, who introduced this concept into science, ideas about the soul appeared among ancient peoples as a result of attempts to understand the difference between sleep and wakefulness, as well as a desire to explain what hallucinations and visions are. Taylor considered animism to be the most ancient belief and the basis of any religion. Now, more ancient beliefs are known. Animatism is an impersonal animation of nature, pre-logical mysticism, and magic. Now animism exists in Africa, America, Oceania, Asia. In Russia, animists are Sami, Hanti, Yakuts, Mansi, Nenets, etc. Second, magic, from the Greek mageia, magic. The belief that an object can be influenced by special otherworldly supernatural forces. James George Frazer, an English researcher of the history of religion, divided the magic of similarity and the magic of infection. The magic of similarity. For example, we make a human figure. With the help of supernatural action, we connect it with a specific person. Then we stick a pin in the place where the figure should have a heart and wait when our specific person has a heart attack. The magic of infection. We take a thing that belonged to our enemy for a long time. For example, an axe, a loincloth, or even better, hair or nails. We influence them in a special way and wait when our enemy runs to the priest for medicine. In the modern world, magic is practiced by well-known voodoo sorcerers. But not only them. Many people use such a magical practice as making a horoscope. People also believe in the guidance of damage and the evil eye. Turn to sorcerers for help. You probably have friends who knock on wood 3 times and spit over their shoulder. These are magical rituals. Third, Totemism, from totem, his genus. Most often, it is the belief in the origin of man from some animal. These animals were worshipped. In most cases, it's forbidden to kill and eat, but sometimes there could be ritual killing and eating. However, the totem could be wind, rain, a cornstalk, etc. Frazer thought that totemism was the cause of domestication of animals and the domestication of plants. Totemism had a great influence on the formation of later religious and mythological ideas, especially on the cult of ancestors. Now, Totemism is preserved in Australia, America, Africa. Fourth, Fetishism, from the French fetish, magic, is a belief in inanimate objects with special supernatural properties. These are amulets, a piece of stone, a rabbit's foot, a shark's teeth, etc. We can say that a magic wand from a fairy tale is also a fetish. Religious fetishism still exists today. So, to attract good luck, you need to wear jewelry with a special stone. The veneration of relics in Christianity and Buddhism and the black stone in Islam is also fetishism. Fifth, Shamanism, from the Evenk word shaman, is a way of communicating with the other world through a special person who has the ability to communicate. The ritual action of a shaman is kaplani, when spirits enter the shaman's body or his soul goes to the spirit world to solve problems. Now, shamanism exists in Altai, Beirasia, Yakutia, Korea, Mexico, Peru, and etc. What were the myths of the people in the primitive era? We can guess from archaeological excavations. Analyzing the burial data, we can assume what the ideas were about the posthumous existence of the soul in the afterlife. The situation is complemented by ethnographic studies of people at the primitive stage of development. In the late Paleolithic, the planet has already inhabited by Homo sapiens, and in parallel with them there were Neanderthals, whom some scientists refer to Homo sapiens and others to Homo, but of a different species. Neanderthals' burials are a subject of debate. There are hypotheses that at first a belief in the existence of the soul and its afterlife was formed, and then funeral rites and other beliefs and cults appeared. Perhaps the Neanderthals had a fear of the corpse. They assumed the presence of unusual, supernatural and frightening properties. According to another version, Neanderthals' burials are taking care of deceased as a sick person, without understanding the difference between the dead and the living, even before the appearance of faith in the presence of a soul. Consequently, Neanderthals' ways of treating the dead arose before religious ideas. These methods are similar to the instinctive action of animals. The desire to get rid of a rotting corpse, the instinct of neatness, and the desire to keep it close to himself, the instinct of social attachment. Perhaps the Neanderthals' tradition of burying the dead influenced on the development of religious ideas Homo sapiens. When living in small groups in which everyone knew each other and everyone was important, the death of one of the members destroyed the harmonious existence of the tribe. Not understanding the fundamental difference between the dead and the living, primitive people realized or felt that something had happened to their relative. The rotting corpse left in the tribe brought diseases and new deaths. Therefore, the deceased must become harmless to living. Funeral rites are used for this. But if you get rid of one of the members, the harmony of the existence of the tribe will be disrupted. The ancient people found a solution of this problem. It is necessary to isolate, bury, but on the territory belonging to the tribe. Perhaps the question of what happened to the relative, why he cannot wake up because death is like a dream, gave rise to ideas about the spirit, the soul, which is separated from the body and the place where it goes the afterlife. In this short review, we will not talk about the concept of soul, but we will return to it in the future. Among the people at the earliest stage of development, only the direction in which the soul of the dead live is determined. There are beliefs about different destinies for the souls of special people, such as leaders, priests, sorcerers, and others. Primitive ideas fix the possibility that the souls of the dead inhabit living people, and not necessarily with malicious intent. For example, the Eskimos believe that the soul of deceased ancestor inhabits the body of a child born in this family, but remains there only until his own soul becomes stronger. The most ancient myths, speaking of the afterlife, depict it as a copy of earthly life, but the human soul continues to exist in the same way as during life. The needs of the soul are food, drink, clothing, tools, and household items. These ideas are related to funeral rites, during which the necessary items are placed in the grave of the deceased, and the rituals that relatives perform on the graves later. Almost all primitive peoples have a fear of the deceased who can return to earth and harm the living. Therefore, caring for the dead during funeral rites and later is, first of all, not love for relatives, but fear for oneself. Many tribes have rituals that prevent the dead from returning to earth. Many primitive tribes have myths that death is not the natural end of life, but the result of someone's mistake, deception, or malice. The people of the ancient civilization have the same ideas. Some primitive peoples believe that each person has several souls, with different posthumous destinies. One soul can stay in the grave with the body, the other can go to heaven or somewhere else. Similar ideas were later developed in many national religions of the ancient world. Many religious and mythological ideas that appeared in the primitive era have survived in later time, up to the present day. Passing from culture to culture, we will trace their presence and transformation. And the next video will be about the culture of one of the oldest civilizations, the culture of Egypt. Subscribe to my channel, please like the video if you liked it. If you find a mistake in my English, please write to me in the comments. Thank you for your attention.